started. Does this thing have a remote start?
It does not. Not yet. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another video. As you can tell, we have both JKs up here in the shop, and I've yet to introduce this on the channel. This is the new two-door JK build that is going to be happening on the channel. The reason I got it is because Cassie never let me borrow the LJ, and I'm a big fan of two-doors. I've actually been thinking about doing a two-door for a long time, and one finally popped up. However, before we start diving into the build plans and what exactly we're doing with this Jeep, we're gonna go ahead and get straight to the point. In today's video, we're gonna be installing a remote start kit designed for the Jeep Wrangler JK. 07 all the way up to 2018. That's, I don't know why I kind of pointed that way. That's a 2010, but.
So we got this kit on Amazon. It's from MPC Automotive Accessories. It was 115 bucks, and it's supposed to be plug and play.
They also say it's a 15-minute install, so if this video is longer than 15 minutes, we have issues.
Yep, so winter's coming up, or winter's pretty much already here for us in Oklahoma, but I really miss having a remote start on our vehicles.
That is true. The Gladiator and the Bronco, that is one of the best things about them. The cold mornings, double tap that key, you get out there about 10 minutes later and the heat and everything's working. Why can't we do that on a JK? Well, we can. There's a lot of kits out there on the market. A lot of them are, you know, kind of universal kits. You get that cheesy clicker that you have to go on the keychain. It has like a standalone button. This kit is supposedly going to work with our factory key fob.
Which is pretty cool.
Which is extremely neat. So all we'd have to do is grab this, press the lock button 3 times and it should start.
Lock or the unlock? It's the lock?
I haven't read the instructions yet.
We'll find out. So the kit doesn't actually come with the instructions, but there's a QR code there. So we're gonna scan that and get this thing started.
That's a good joke. Get it started.
Get it started.
So while Cassie's looking at the instructions, we're gonna pull this off. Most returns occur because of install errors. I can believe that. We have a new model that you can start with an app. We're not gonna mess with that. What we really want is the stuff in here. There are a few things to keep in mind before you actually go ahead and buy this. If you do not have a key fob that has the option to lock and unlock your JK, it's not gonna work. So if you have crank windows, no power locks, unfortunately it's not gonna work. But if you have one of these, it should be good to go. Now for all the manual transmission owners, technically this should work, but if you're leaving it in first gear and you're in your house and you remote start it, it's gonna wanna go. So that is up to you. Personally, I'd probably still do it, but you'd have to remember to park and leave the gearbox in neutral.
Don't take advice from this guy.
Yeah, I mean, I would, I don't know. But with that being said, we have our harness. For the most part, is plug and play. There are some optional wires we can hook up, such as the little toggle kill switch. It comes with this, so if you wanted to be able to disable a system, you could. The pretty much like running lights, so when you remote start, the running lights will come on. We have a long range remote. It's like an add-on kit, but if you can lock your Jeep from where you want to start it, this kit's gonna work. And there is one wire we're gonna have to cut. It says right here, cut wire for Wrangler only. Sorry, they're kind of like printed on both sides, so it's hard to show you. So the green wire will have to get cut, and all these extra wires, if we don't plan on using them, all we have to do is cut them, tape them up, or heat shrink them out of the way. So for the very first step, we have to go and remove the little plastic dash piece under our steering wheel. Now on the newer Jeeps, like 16 and up, it can be a little more difficult, but MPC actually does have a video showing you how to remove that. But on the older models, it's super simple. So let's hop in the Jeep. So we're gonna start off by removing this lower cover on our steering wheel here. We have a Torx bit here, a Torx bolt here, one up here, and one up there. We're gonna go ahead and move our steering wheel up.
Now that we have 2 JKs, it was kind of hard to decide between putting this kit in this JK or in Ben's 4-door, but we pretty much only drive the 4-door now when we go on big trips, so there's really no need to be able to remote start that thing.
That's not like a daily driver. I don't think this is going to be a daily driver, but for the most part, starting off, it is gonna be more of a daily driver.
For the next 6 months over winter, I guess it's not 6 months, but we'll be driving this more frequently, and I think having a remote start on here will be more beneficial.
Plus, if this works good, I have no problem buying another one.
And putting it in the JK.
For the JK.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is actually, oh man. A Torx bit is stuck up in there. I'd recommend using a Torx setup like this that's nice and thin, otherwise it can get stuck up here in the plastic. So hopefully I can fish this out. There we go. A lot thinner. There we go. So far the installation has taken more than 15 minutes. So I wish I could give you guys a tip on how I did that. No clue. Just kind of have to wrestle it off. So pretty much what we want to do is get access to our key fob immobilizer right here. So what this is what recognizes when the Jeep's running, recognizes our key, all of that stuff, and we're tying into that with that new MPC module.
There it goes.
There it goes. So be very careful in unplugging this because mine was extremely tight, but on the back side, there is a little plunger you have to push and then you pull it out. Now that we have that unplugged, before we start connecting this all up in the Jeep, we do need to find a nice space to hide it. I wanna make sure we cut down on some of the loose wires under there. Cassie's cutting some of these unneeded connections. We're gonna leave just enough in case in the future we wanna be able to hook these up.
Lights or something?
Yeah, add parking lights or any of that.
You didn't want to save the wire, right?
Nah, that's about a penny or two.
Let's see, let's strip it.
That's some aluminum, that's worth nothing. Shoot, I guess we're gonna have to resort to stealing our own catalytic converters. Now we have to find a spot to mount this. Could use some Velcro, or looks like that's a nice little spot for some handy dandy zip ties.
You want me Velcro?
Somewhere in here. I have about as much of a clue as you do.
Where the Velcro is?
Yep.
What are you doing?
Pro tip. So if you twist off the end of the zip tie, it like friction melts it. So you'll never have a sharp edge to cut yourself on. If you clip it with clippers, it's a very sharp edge, and if your hands are down here, boom, pro tip. Somebody taught me that. It was a, actually
Nice.
one of my guys at work down in Texas taught me that. I was like, man, that is genius. Just twist
That was really cool.
it melts it, makes it nice and soft and flush. We're gonna plug our new harness back into our immobilizer. Next, we're gonna plug in the piggyback, and then grab our red, white, and blue and black. There's actually two. We're gonna do the one without the clip. We're gonna hold our pairing button, and when we plug it in, it should start flashing at us.
You should have
There we
red,
go.
white, and blue lights. Do you
Yep.
see them?
And then once it turns all blue, we let go, right?
Yep.
There we go. So it's all blue,
And it's not blinking or anything?
not blinking.
Then we're good. And then you can insert the required remaining connectors. Next step is to turn the key to the ignition on run position. So not all the way on. I didn't read the next step, should have kept going. All right, then turn the key to the off position. And then press the lock button on the vehicle's OEM remote. And then we're going to press and release the programming button on the module once.
Blue light's gone.
Good, the blue LED light will turn off, so that's
Alright.
a good sign. And the module is now programmed. You're gonna press the lock button 3 times. Not too quickly. They should be about 1 second. Timing is very important. Pressing the button too fast or too slow will not activate the system. The press should be about 1 second apart.
There's a reason they send this card out. Most returns occur because of install error. In our case, install went fine, but there is one blurb in the actual programming instructions where it tells you if you're using the OEM remote or without the OEM remote. Cassie had me do both.
The word or.
This time we had a little bit different. It started blinking rapidly, so it should be good. Let's give it a shot.
Ready?
Yeah.
Wait, you do the honors. Remember, about 1 second.
Ooh. It's doing something.
Oh my God, it worked!
That is awesome.
That is too cool.
Now, there is one thing I am extremely curious about. So most modern vehicles that have a push start or a remote start, there's no key to put in and turn back on. Right now, our key is in the off position.
Oh.
So we have to come back in, like, okay. Now, I guess one thing we want to make sure that you don't actually,
Start it again.
I don't know if the JK will do it. Let's try it.
Wait, hold on. Wait, let's see.
Cool, so yeah, it won't even let you start it. The starter won't engage.
So
So
you're
that's
good.
it, we're good.
I guess that's why we should read the instructions all the way through.
You would think we would read the instructions before doing a YouTube video. What else did you read, Cass?
The engine will remain running for 15 minutes or until the brake pedal is pressed. So I don't know, does that feel...
Is it gonna cut it off in the middle of a remote start? Let's see. So I'm inside the house. All right, this baby started up.
Turn it on high heat.
Yep, and then I'm gonna come out in 10 minutes, turn the key on, and then hit the brake. Cool, it doesn't kill it.
All right, I guess that's to stop the timing, like, because if not, it would
boom.
And you got, boom! You don't have to press the lock button.
Genius.
See? Perfect.
Now that we know it works, it's time to go ahead and put the dash back together, clean up all those wires, make it nice and clean. But this is going to be an amazing feature. I'm curious, like, can you do it fast? Like, yeah, and it works.
There it goes.
That is awesome. The one thing we do need is a Hemi in here to make it actually roar.
It sounds so cute.
It sounds so cute. I definitely think this is gonna happen on the JK as well, because that's extremely handy. The fact that we can reuse our factory remote, it's under 100 bucks. I like it.
It was a little over 100 bucks.
Oh, did I say under?
It'd be a good Christmas present, you know what I mean?
That would be an amazing Christmas present. So with that being said, it's like 10:30 at night. Cassie has to work tomorrow, so see you guys in the morning. We know that the remote start works, but now it's time to test the range. We do have to keep in mind that this is an older style key fob. You know, it's not gonna have the same range as a new JL or JT. They have a little bit better technology. We're back in 2007 technology here. So as long as your key fob actually reaches, you should be able to remote start the Jeep. So this is a pretty good distance. I'd say it's about 70 feet. Close around there. It's just a wild estimate, but as you can tell, the remote start just worked. So if you're curious to see if it'd work with you, like your setup, just park your Jeep where you normally would, and if your Jeep unlocks or locks from that distance, then the remote start's gonna work. It's just limited by how far your key fob actually reaches to the Jeep. Now, if you do need an extra distance, suppose you park really far away and you wanna do a remote start, that's where some of those long range systems will come into play. But for the majority of people, as long as you park somewhere within 60, like, you know, around 60 feet, it's most likely gonna work. So we'll go ahead and cancel that with the little 3 tap. Well, that was another successful install, and this is something that I wish I did to my JK a while ago. Earlier, I mentioned about manual transmissions. There are a few things to keep in mind other than the fact of the safety aspect of it. In order to even get this to work, you are gonna have to bypass or throw a switch on the clutch safety switch. So manual transmissions, they're not gonna start unless you have the clutch pushed in or you're in 4 low. So you would have to tap in to your clutch wiring system, bypass that completely, or throw a little toggle switch in there so you could arm it or disarm it for the remote starts. I'll leave it up to you guys. Unfortunately, I don't have a manual to show you guys how to do it, and there's a lot of liability in regards to that. That's why most of these kits do not offer manual support. However, the actual plugs on the module are the same. You might get a check engine light if you bypass the clutch safety switch. That might be worth a Google. And if anybody in here has done it on a manual transmission JK, feel free to go down in the comments, share your wisdom for us. But the remote install job is done. I'll throw a link in the video description in case you guys want to check it out. Pretty affordable, and it works really good. But with all that being said, let's take a look at this two-door. So it is a 2009 Jeep JK that is almost completely bone stock. There's only a few modifications on it. They had a little Quadratect hood light bar up there. Of course, we do have a aftermarket stereo right there, still pretty old. That's gonna have to get changed out. And the last modification is taillight covers, and of course the Ron John Surf Shop sticker. I've been looking for quite a while for a two-door JK that was completely stock. You know, there was a lot that popped up. A lot of them already had modifications, already really beat up, and the ones that were stock were just way overpriced. So luckily we did find this here locally in Oklahoma City. It is 100% rust-free. The bottom looks insanely clean. There are a few spots that have some damage. Like here on the tailgate, that got swung open, and the rust forming there is just because of the missing paint. But overall, it's in amazing condition. 170 something thousand miles, but it runs perfect. Now, it's not gonna stay stock like this. The engine's probably gonna get pulled out. We're gonna stretch it. This thing is gonna turn into a buggy eventually. Not a buggy, but a very streetable, amazing off-road machine. So there's a lot of things that I would change on the four-door build, and a lot of stuff that I never covered on YouTube in regards to the Jeep JK and, you know, how to set it up. There's a lot of potential here, and I'm excited for this build and to share it with you guys. There's a lot of videos in store, and this is gonna be an extremely fun project showing you guys how to build an amazing Jeep that can cruise down the highway, can handle the rocks, and still be a very well-performing Jeep all around. So if you guys have any specific video requests or certain projects that you really want to see done on the YouTube channel, feel free to go down to the comment section. Let me know and I'll do my best to try to put it on the list for the JK. But that is about it for this video, guys. Thanks for watching. Please give the video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you guys next week with some more Jeep projects.